Hello, I am Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is my January 2026 plan with me. It's the new year, which means time to start getting our monthly layouts all done. And I'll say it right away. Yes, this is actually a couple days late. But it's still getting out the first week of January, so I count that as a win. So this year, I don't have a set theme for what I'm doing for each month. I already decided the 12 different themes that I'm doing this year. I wrote them down on little pieces of paper, gave them random numbers, and then I am actually rolling a 12-sided dice to determine my theme for each month. And the first one that was chosen is this one. And my exact words that I wrote down were trash panda, which is a raccoon. And I thought, I'm gonna have fun with this to kick off the new year with. So that's exactly what I was doing. And here in this spread, this is my monthly calendar and a little area to put tasks or just general things that are going to be coming up that aren't related to goals or really other things that I need to do. But it's a very semi-minimal design for me, especially to kick off the year. I didn't want to do a whole lot with it, so I was just having fun, and I figured we're gonna put a big trash can on the cover page. Why not? I'm gonna have some fun with this. But as I was saying, I really wanted to do something simple for this year. Well, for this month, because there's a lot that I want to get done, and I wanted to have fun with this. So, the trash can on our first page. And it's not something that's overly decorated and not overly in your face. And in all fairness, doing the entire January setup only took me 32 minutes, and for me, that's actually really quick. But I did do stuff in advance to prepare for it. Like, came up with something that is on one of the later pages, and also getting a sticker prepared that I was going to be putting in. But I did enjoy getting this all made up. Especially this page. I think I was laughing for hours when I sketched it. I just could not stop laughing because I thought it was so funny. And it just felt really nice. Something funny to look at every day in January. But once I was done coloring in the trash can, I had to do all of the labeling, which in reality did not take long at all, and was probably the quickest thing for this layout to do. But with my calendar done, it was time to go to my habit tracker. And I will say this right now. I did not put in the habits right away because I'm still debating what my goals for 2026 will be. So I did not enter any of my habits into here yet. But I had to start with something, and the best way to do it was start with the layout. And this is actually real time how long it took me to do this layout, which it has a lot of lines that needed to be shaded in. And I had to make sure I had enough going down for the whole month, including the 1st and 2nd, because today, the day that I actually did this, was on January 2nd because of trying to get everything else caught up. But that's not the point of this. I wanted to have enough space for each day of the month, whether it is used or not, and then a vertical line for each of the habits that I was going to be entering. And I have learned to do the shading before I do my line work itself, because it makes it a lot easier and doesn't really bleed as much, because sometimes if you go over the darker color with your lighter, it will pull it and just make it a little muddy. And I didn't really want that, so I wanted it to look somewhat nice. But the basic color theme that I decided for January is mostly shades of gray, because raccoons are gray and black. I thought the few colors I picked were really good, and then it's like, I want not one color that is not black or gray, but a dark color. And that's where the color I used for most of the line work is this dark purple that is almost black, but it's not. So it counts as a separate color, and it works for what I need it for. But since I had all of the hard work done, all I had left was putting in my header, and I was going the easy way. We're just going to use the dark color and write it in. I can fill in my habits at a later time once I know what my goals for this year will be. But now it's for the quickest spread I had in this entire journal. Not journal. This entire month so far. And I usually have a goals and things area for myself, and then I have a things for my dad area. Well, that's what this page basically is. But I kind of renamed the one part of it. So the top is still my dad's things. So things I need to help him with, take care of for him, stuff like that. On the bottom, I just decided this is going to be my things. So things I want to take care of, things I need to do. Things that aren't like scheduled or stuff like that. In the classical sense of, oh, you have an appointment this day. It could be like, I need to schedule an appointment or stuff like that. And then I'm like, well, there's not a lot of stuff here on this page. I want to add something. So I went and I was actually searching for a minute here for some washi tape that I had the night before. I put it down somewhere and I could not remember where I put it because there's stuff all over my desk. And it reminds me of a raccoon tail. So I put it in right along the center edge, and it's like, hey, here we go. This brings some of the element to this area, and it's simple. It's something that's not overly in the way, and it just works. But with that done, it's time for something a little fun. And don't mind the little shiny piece of tape on the right hand page. That was an accident that was not supposed to happen. But I cut out a sticker last night that I thought was a good fit for this theme, being raccoons, trash pandas. And I wanted to have like a little quote to put with it, or something along that line. And I found something. I loved it. It got my husband to shake his head. And I'm like, this is perfect. I want this in here because it just makes sense. So, added in the little sticker. And yes, there are shiny spots on the trash can, which I could have done so much easier than the way I did. But you figure it out later. And I have this little sticker, and it's like, alright, I need to color in a few things, but that's fine. I have shiny areas on the trash can, that's what I wanted. And I just enjoy it so much. But I have two little raccoons. Their tails are sticking out of the garbage. And I'm like, we're just going to color them in because I am not going through the process of trying to get all of the separate colors to cut out and all of this for the sticker. It wasn't worth going through all of that right now. But I still wanted raccoons, so I made myself some raccoons. So they're hanging out in their trash can, and just the little saying that I put with it, it fits so well. because it's something I can look at and laugh at. But the non-shiny area of the trash can needed to get filled in, and then it was time for my little written thing I wanted here that just fits so well. So I basically ask the question of, are you a raccoon? And there's a few criteria you need to meet to be a raccoon. Do you have dark circles under your eyes? Are you easily distracted? Do you eat junk? Are you small and chubby? Do you stay up all night? Are you cute, but you're willing to fight? And do you like shiny things? Or actually, do you love shiny things? And I found this just so hilarious and just so perfect for January to start off the year on a really good foot, even though there's trash cans in my decorations. This just made everything feel so fun and just nice. But at the end of my little question, I do have one last little line that I added to this, and I thought it was just... it just sounded so good. And yes, I intentionally wrote the like shiny things like that. It was for a reason. But if you answered yes to any of this, join us in the trash. It just fits so well, considering I have a coffee cup, well, a coffee mug, one of the travel ones, that says Trash Panda on it. It has a raccoon in a trash can. It's just perfect. So, it works. But now, we're gonna head on over to my weekly logs, and I'm gonna say these are very basic, straightforward, and stuff like that. And now to address the shiny spot on the right page. I accidentally dropped part of the sticker on that spot last night when I was planning out kind of where some stuff was gonna go, and I tore the page on just the one side slightly, so it's like, alright, shiny object is going over the top, which just fit perfectly with the "Are you a raccoon?" So I had an oops, and I fixed the oops using something shiny, because why not? But as for how this is getting done for my weekly logs, I have each section divided into 10 squares. So each page is being quartered. And since I had the first page done, which was for the first, second, and third, this made doing the rest of the month so much easier, because I could see through slightly and I can just trace the line from the prior page. And that's exactly what I did. And while I was going, it's like, alright, so these are going to be very basic weekly logs, because I don't want to do too much to them. I don't want it to be overly decorated, stuff like that. Especially at the start of the month. Because as I'm going through the month, who knows what I might add. I could end up adding decorations and things like that. So, we'll see. I could end up filling spots with shiny stickers or shiny objects that I find, which fits perfectly in this month. But as I was going, I kept counting to make sure I did not draw too little or too many of the lines that were needed here. But this was real time how long it took for me to do my full weekly log. And you might be going, well, you have 8 boxes on each of these spreads. Yeah, I do. But the box on the lower right hand corner on 3 of these weeks is basically going to be alright, if something needs to be noted down and it doesn't go towards a specific day, I'm throwing it in that area if it falls on one of those 3 weeks. On the last page, where it's the end of the month, that final week of January, I have my migration built in to my weekly logs this time, because I didn't want to do a 2-page spread for migration at the start of the year. That felt like a little bit of wasted space, and I figured, let's just do it this way. I will make this work, because usually I don't have a lot that needs to get migrated. Usually I say that. But here I started going through, numbering them, making sure I didn't skip pages like I have done in prior years. And as I got closer to the end, it's like, alright, am I going to write migration? Am I going to write something else? And I finally just decided on going and writing the word next with this color for next month, just to make it easier and simpler. And then I took another gray and decided I'm writing the day of the week with that. And yes, I wrote my T too close to the one that I couldn't capitalize it, so it's like, alright, everything is being printed in lowercase for this color. I am not dealing with it. And of course, like usual, I can't do a spread without making a mistake. And of course, it happens here at the end of my weekly logs, where in my little migration next month box, I started writing Sunday. So I'm like, all right, we're crossing that out. I'm gonna write month. I'm gonna put something here to cover it. I was thinking I could put something shiny, or I can take one of the little offcuts of black and white tape and stick it over the top. Because with raccoons, there is some chaos and things aren't always going to be pretty. So, hey, what a better way to cover up a mistake than use something that was from earlier. I'm actually excited to use this spread this month. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun, and who knows what all I will be able to accomplish. Because, hey, sometimes you just need to do what you need to do. And we're ready to kick off this year and get stuff going, and we'll see what is done in the end. So, thanks for watching, and if you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!